I'm a little pissed off this morning, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily Oakland A's podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it is your team every day. I am your host, Booney, one name. Episodes will drop Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 a.m. as we go to 3 days a week, which is Oakland time, Vegas time, and yes, Sacramento time. Whether you are on your way to work, driving back from work, or listening casually during the day, thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen of the day. I'm from the Bay Area, and I've been a diehard A's fan since 1981. And I'm here to bring you a real fan's take, covering everything from Oakland to Sacramento to Las Vegas. This is the place for A's fans to get the latest game breakdowns, team news, and more. This is where the passion of the fans takes center stage. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. And please hit that subscribe button wherever you are following the show. As I mentioned, we are going to 3 days a week, which is probably a good thing this time of year, because I don't know how many more times I can tell you that Vegas will happen and the A's are not coming back to Oakland. I don't know how many more times I can tell you that the A's have a really, really good team next year, as I will continue my review of one series a week in July 2024 as the A's faced off against the Anaheim Angels in Oakland on July 19th through July 21st. That's later. Winter meetings kicked off on Monday, and so far it has been uneventful, to say the least. David Forst said that trade talks have been almost non-existent, but free agent talks have been where it is at. I want to revisit what this actually means for the A's and why targeting free agents with a qualifying offer like they did with Luis Severino is the way to go. I want to explain what exactly a qualifying offer is. That's in a few minutes. First, I have said in the past that the A's going to Sacramento was very unnecessary. Well, I'm changing my mind, which I am absolutely 100% entitled to do. And I'm stating that the A's going to Sacramento was beyond necessary. And if that means playing in a minor league ballpark to get away from all this negative energy and noise, so be it. I've had enough of all the negative attitudes towards the A's from everybody. And right now, I am drawing a line in the sand and claiming that this is the A's against the world. Today's episode is brought to you in part by FanDuel. You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel. New customers can place a $5 bet and you'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Last week or the week before, whenever it was, I guaranteed that the A's will win the AL West. The nicest comments I received was, well, hey, that's a bold prediction. And of course, all you little A's haters out there that had all your comments, which of course was 100% garbage because it was based on zero, just a bunch of yelling and hate. Yeah, I said it, garbage. When I made that bold prediction, I wasn't just trying to be like the A's haters out there and just yell. I made that prediction and opinion because player for player, they are better than any team in the AL West. They are just simply more talented. They are a better ball club. I made that prediction before the Severino signing, which received so much criticism, which I found fascinating as well. They paid too much for Severino. Yet, if they don't sign Severino or they don't sign any free agents, the A's refuse to spend. Well, which is it? The A's receive so much hate, so much criticism, they can do nothing right. As I tried to listen to the live shows covering the winter meetings, whether it be A's Cast or other shows, and listen to who they had on the show talking about the A's, I listened to what they were saying and saw 2025 projected lineups and wondered if any of them actually watched an A's game, or if their takes and data were just based on stats. I listened to their projection for a season, as many of them set the A's goal as a 500 team. And again, I asked myself, did you guys watch any of the games? I listen and hear how the A's were a competitive team in the second half, and I responded to the TV. No, they were the second best team in all of baseball in the month of July. And in July and August, they were a top 10 team in all of baseball. With all the noise going on around them, they were still that good. They were changing rosters on a daily basis, yet we're one of the top teams in all of baseball for a 2-month stretch, which is remarkable to me. I hear some shows complain on how unfair baseball is because of the Mets owner Cohen will spend at all costs and the A's owner John Fisher will not. I mean, are you kidding me? Spending does correlate to winning only if you spend on the right players. Spending to spend doesn't mean anything. It doesn't equal wins. One of the A's needs was at third base, but not one person spoke about the contributions of Max Schumann. Do you realize he was our third best player in the month of July, and it was a key part of the A's all year long? Yet, in many mock lineups, they had Darrell Hernandez at third in the 9-hole. Are you kidding me? Darrell Hernandez didn't play half the games of the year. It was just a joke listening to this. It just told me that people did not watch the A's play last year. The disrespect the A's have been shown by the rest of Major League Baseball, like they're nobodies, like them finishing 500, is a huge accomplishment. Like they're so much better. I've had enough. The media outlets and the haters has made me draw a line in the sand. A's against the world. I'm liking the Vegas fans a little bit more. They're growing on me. They're interested only in baseball. They're interested in a good product. They're interested in winning. Sacramento fans have always been some of the best sports fans in the country. And Oakland fans, if you are still on board, let's go. If not, and you don't want to support A's because they are no longer in your city, I get it. Understand. I'm with you. I hear you. I get your point of view. But just to hate on them, I'm not with that. To all you A's fans still on board, whether in Sacramento, Vegas, Oakland, we have had enough. It is us against everyone else. Yeah, our owner is cheap. He's not great. And he is in it for himself. We know that. Heard it. But he isn't pitching or hitting. Yeah, we are playing in a minor league ballpark. So what? Yeah, we have one of the lowest payrolls in baseball. And this is a message to the rest of MLB and all fans who are not with the A's. It is clear that you did not watch the A's play last year. It's not your fault. You are too busy waving your sell the team flags and complaining about the owner. I promise you something. You will be watching them this year as we kick your ass up and down the diamond. That I promise. To all you media outlets that didn't mention Max Schumann, tells me you didn't watch a game. It's easy to talk about the obvious. It's easy to talk about the Brett Rookers, the Lawrence Butlers. So today, I'm drawing a line in the sand. Vegas, Sacramento, Oakland, any and all A's fans from any part of the country, jump on board. It's the A's against the world. We need to get better. That we know. Day 3 of the winter meetings today, General Manager David Forrest said free agents are the hot topic. I will tell you why the A's need to continue to target free agents with a qualifying offer up next. Today's episode is brought to you in part by FanDuel. When I personally look at a sports book, there are 2 things that are most important to me. Is it easy to deposit? And more importantly, is it easy to withdraw? FanDuel checks both boxes for me. Get ready to tackle the NFL action with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because right now, new customers can bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL, all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. So, according to David Forrest, trade talks have almost been non-existent. I really have a hard time believing that will continue and still believe that Jordan Montgomery of the Arizona Diamondbacks will be in Sacramento next year in an A's uniform. The A's still need to get that payroll up, and the D-backs have expressed an interest in trading Montgomery. We cannot give up anything for him, right? Nor would we want to. He's making around $23 million next year and is coming off just an awful 2024. I think there will be a delay in these type of trades where teams like the D-backs who are holding on to bad contracts are going to shop the player for the best possible return. And in the end, if they can't get anything in return, sure, they'll just give up that contract. With the A's, talks to the D-backs about Montgomery is basically like, hey, here's your return. We'll take the player off your hands. We'll take his contract. That's it. Nothing more. The A's have been rumored by the Athletics' Ken Rosenthal that the A's could have potential options in Kyle Gibson, Lance Lynn, both from the Cardinals, or Andrew Haney from the Rangers. Another thing to consider is a pitcher who has declined a qualifying offer. The A's surprising move to sign former Mets ace Luis Severino and what it means for a team that's been rumored to pursue other free agents tied to qualifying offers. Buckle up. There's a lot to unpack to this. What is a qualifying offer? Let's start with the basics. A qualifying offer, often abbreviated as QO, is a 1-year contract offered to an eligible free agent by their previous team. The salary for a QO is set by Major League Baseball each year based on the average salary of the top 125 players in the league. This year's QO was $21 million. Last year's QO, $19.65 million. A few key details. First, eligibility. Only certain free agents qualify for the QO. For example, midseason trade acquisitions or players who have received a QO in the past are not eligible. Players can either accept the QO and stay with their current team for another year or reject it and enter free agency. So why is this significant? Because it creates a ripple effect across the league. Why teams offer qualifying offers? Teams don't hand out QOs to every free agent. It's a strategic move. If a player accepts the offer, the team gets them for one more season. No long-term risk. If a player rejects it, the team is compensated when the player signs elsewhere. That compensation is where things get interesting. The new team signing the player owes the original team a draft pick, which varies based on factors like the signing team's payroll and whether they exceeded the luxury tax. This draft pick is a valuable asset for teams looking to reload their farm system. For the A's, the Severino move signals an aggressive approach to improve their roster quickly. But signing a player tied to a QO comes with a cost. The A's will have to forfeit a draft pick as compensation to the Mets. In the Severino deal, the A's will have to give up their third highest pick in the 2025 draft. For a team that values building through the draft, this is a bold gamble. Now, why are the A's targeting QO players? The only two other players in the market right now who have declined qualifying offers are Sean Manaea of the Mets and Nick Pivetta of the Red Sox, which we covered last week. Targeting individuals who have declined qualifying offers means that there is a higher probability that the A's could possibly sign this free agent because other teams are not willing to give up a draft pick in order to sign the player. So it puts the A's on more of a level playing field for your mid-range type of free agents like a Manaea and Pivetta. Obviously, the A's farm system is top-notch. Losing a draft pick hurts less if they already have young talent ready to contribute. The A's have a team right now where they can be in a win-now mode. Adding veterans like Severino shows they want to compete immediately. Players tied to QOs sometimes sign for less because the draft pick penalty reduces their market. This offseason could redefine the Athletics' identity. If Severino delivers and the A's continue to target high-profile free agents, they could fast-track their rebuild. On the flip side, if these moves don't pan out, the loss of draft picks could delay long-term success. Either way, the A's are making headlines. And as fans, that's exciting to see. I know I was supposed to cover the A's Angels series from July today. I'm going to cover that on Friday. Be sure you stay tuned for any news from the winter meetings. If anything new does happen, I'm going to be on it right away with an emergency episode. I'm watching daily, seeing if something happens, seeing what moves the A's potentially could make, what free agents we could potentially sign. But again, through the first couple days, it's been somewhat quiet. It's early. Anything can happen. But again, we're going to cover the Angels series on Friday. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen today. Or your second listen, find Locked On MLB. Baseball guru Sully brings a daily blend of humor and baseball, keeping you updated on every rumor and story throughout the off season. Find Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thank you for watching. I will see you on Friday.